Hello everyone, I hope you're doing alright, I hope you're keeping safe and I hope you're keeping sane. Now, before I switch the camera on to make this video today, I did a quick search on YouTube for Roulette System, and there have been thousands uploaded in the last week alone. This is an epidemic on YouTube, it's an epidemic on Google, and it's something that is incredibly dangerous or potentially dangerous to addicts and to those who are in a vulnerable position. What I want to talk about in today's video is about roulette systems, roulette strategies, what the difference is, the ones that work, the ones that don't work, and why most of them should be given quite a wide berth. Now, the first thing we should do really is differentiate between a strategy and a system. Now, a roulette strategy is a way of betting. Anyone who plays roulette regularly will likely have some form of strategy. Now, that could be something as simple as always betting on the same X amount of numbers, so always betting on the same 5 or 6 numbers. It could be always betting on TS section or on zero section or one of the other ones that no one can ever remember the name of. It could be betting or to double up your money and trying to get X amount of wins in a row in order to leave with a certain profit. That is a roulette strategy. Now, inherently, there's nothing wrong with a strategy. It's just a way of playing as you would play in many different games. A roulette system, however, is something very different. A roulette system is what you will see pushed on YouTube. It is what you see pushed all over the place online. And a roulette system is a method by which you can take a relatively small bankroll typically and turn it into a large amount of money. It's a process by which you can make X amount of money, or a promise making X amount of money in X period of time. So a typical roulette system will promise you something like this. With a £50 bankroll, you can make up to £1,000 a day. Okay, that is the typical headline you'll see on a roulette system video or a roulette system article here on YouTube. Now, what you'll find is whenever you click on one of these roulette system videos, it will never give you the complete system. It certainly won't show the long-term win or loss of said system. What it will normally do is give you a bit of a teaser. It will show you a few example spins, typically a couple of losses, maybe with a win afterwards to show how you've actually made a little bit of profit in the long run. If we take the Martingale system, everyone knows the Martingale system. This is a very, very easy system to demonstrate the power of in the very short term. But of course, we know with the Martingale system that whilst mathematically it's watertight, in reality, in practice, because of bet limits, table restrictions and all the rest of it, and also having a limited bankroll, the Martingale system is inherently flawed. And if you try it over a long period of time, you will ultimately end up skint. You will end up losing your entire bankroll and you won't be able to repeat the bet required to get your money back. So when you watch a lot of these roulette system videos on YouTube, or you read a little bit about them online, they will say something like it's a progressive system. You know, it's a reverse betting system where you bet against, you know, a win or whatever. It doesn't matter. It will tell you a little bit of information and it will show a win. It will, like I say, it will normally show a loss as well, just to make it feel a bit more realistic, but it will show a win. But what it won't do, of course, what it will never do is show you all the ins and outs of the system, how the whole thing works, and it won't show you any long-term win or loss. And why won't they do this? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? They want to sell you this system. Most of the YouTube videos, I'm actually staring at a page of them now, that offer a roulette system will have a link in the description to some dodgy WordPress website where you can buy their system. Buy it on a PDF, buy it in a book. Blimey, the Gambler's Bookcase, I've been doing this for years. A couple of my first ever videos were about the Gambler's Bookcase, and they have been perpetuating these systems for years. They come under many different names, and most of them realistically are just roulette strategies in disguise. And inherently, roulette strategies, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has a different way of playing different games. However, the inherent problem with these comes with the fact they guarantee profits. And what happens when you guarantee profits? You attract vulnerable people. Now, if you're a gambler, or even if you're not necessarily a gambler, it may be that at some point in your past you have been looking online for roulette systems or roulette strategies, and I am no exception. In my younger days, I went online and I looked for these systems, I looked for these strategies. And why? Because I had a gambling problem. Because I'd probably just lost an awful lot of money that I couldn't afford to lose, and I needed to find a way of getting that money back. And in my head, the only way of getting it back was getting it back from the exact same people that I had just given it to, the casinos. And of course, how beautiful? How sweet would that be? That having lost so much of your money and put yourself in a very vulnerable financial situation, that you could rectify this, that you could somehow put yourself back in positive equity by taking money back from the casinos. You've won both financially, and you feel like you've won against the very people who have taken your money from you. And this is what these people thrive upon. This is what these people selling these roulette systems thrive upon. They thrive upon the desperate gambler who needs money. They thrive upon the person who's chasing the losses, who wants to win it back. And they'll also thrive upon anyone in a vulnerable situation, anyone who's down on the luck, anyone who's struggling financially, struggling to make ends meet. Maybe they're targeting single mothers who, are living on the breadline and need to make some extra money just to survive. And what will they do? Well, they take that last of their money from you just to buy their roulette system. And I can say now, hand on heart, without exception, and actually there are a few exceptions with roulette, but I'll come on to them at the end, but without exception, when it comes to systems, none of them will work. Some of them, like the Martingale system, you will see profits in the very short term. On a short cycle of attempts, yes, you might win a few times and you might win a little bit of money, but eventually that system will have a flaw. And it will have a flaw that will not only make you lose on occasion, it will make you lose everything you've won up to that point, and it will leave you with no bankroll and no money. And why do I know this? How do I know this? Well, actually, I talked about this in one of my very first videos. Roulette, in its current form, give or take, has been about since the 17th century. It is a game that was invented in the 17th century and has been played ever since. It's available in so many different formats. Live roulette, of course, in casinos was the original, but now you can play it online. You can play it on your phone, you can play it in bookmakers, you can play it in various forms in pubs on the digital terminals, although they're slightly different. And the game still exists in that original form. It's been it's been modified occasionally, particularly with some of the online casinos and some of their variants, but by and large the essence of the game is the same as it was in the 17th century. People have had hundreds of years of playing this game, hundreds of years, with some very smart minds, some very intelligent mathematicians trying to work out ways to beat this game, and yet it still exists in the same form. If there was one single way of beating the game of roulette, if there was one system that actually worked that would allow you to win reliably time after time and turn small bankrolls into large profits, this game would not exist. It would not be available to play in the same format today. It would have been tweaked, it would have been modified, or it would have been removed from the casinos altogether. It doesn't take long for one person's system to spread. And I'm telling you what, it's not spreading through YouTube, and it's not spreading through people like the Gambler's Bookcase and all these dodgy online sites that just want your money. And think about this. If you had a roulette system that could reliably make you £1,000 a day, £10,000 a day, whatever these ridiculous systems are promising you, why, oh why, would you go to the effort of setting up a website, making a 30-page PDF and selling it for 30 quid a pop online, putting out YouTube videos that take hours to edit, just to try and sell a few 20, 30 quid roulette systems? Yet, of course, there are people that charge a lot more. There are people who demand a lot more for their systems. But by and large, they're going for 20, 30 quid. And if you are making the amounts, the sums, as easily as these systems are promising you, then you wouldn't go to that effort. You would be in the casino every day. You would be online every day. And most importantly, why would you share this system with anyone? They are all flawed, none of them work. They prey on vulnerable people desperate to win back either gambling losses or make money that they can't, otherwise make. So just avoid them. Now, I did mention there very quickly that there are exceptions with roulette. There are, of course, exceptions with roulette in terms of systems and of cheating, and we're talking about cheating now. Okay, there are roulette computers that can predict the trajectory and the speed of the ball, which will give you an area where the ball is likely to land very quickly once the roulette wheel's been spun. We know about this. There's lots of videos on YouTube of these being demonstrated. These are, of course, going to get you banned. They're going to get you banned. I don't actually know if they're illegal. I'm not sure they're illegal, but they will get you banned from any casino. And obviously they only work in bricks and mortar casino. There is the physical mental way of doing this, visual ballistics, which is basically using your brain as a roulette computer. Not something that not everyone can do. It requires years and years of practice and only hours of play to get yourself banned from a casino. So again, a total waste of time. And before anyone comments in the comments below and says, what about certain tables? What about bias wheels? Bias wheels, and they have historically always been bias roulette wheels. They are manufactured by hand, they are not perfect, and over thousands and thousands of spins, some may demonstrate a very minor bias. Again, this would rely on you sitting in a bricks and mortar casino for hours and days, monitoring roulette wheels, and making notes of the outcomes and deducing it that way. Again, a very, very quick way to get yourself banned. So yes, there are ways, legal ways and illegal ways, of making money on roulette. But they're all fairly impractical, and you're certainly not going to find them here on YouTube. You're not going to find them in some 30 quid PDF peddled by Gambler's Bookcase or the like. So stay clear. If you have just had a big loss and you want to win it back, don't accept the loss, write it off, make the money back. The money will come back in time, but it won't come back through the casino. The casino has that money now. As depressing as it is, it has your money. You're not going to get it back from them, so don't even try. Thanks very much for watching this video. Subscribe if you like it. Lovely to see you all again soon. And yeah, take it easy, stay safe and stay sane. All the best.